Good morning. These are the birds we bought this year. So there are 10 of the lavender orpington, so that's a great bird. And these beautiful white birds, they're called American breast. So we've got those two roos. There is cockerels, and there's a pullet up in there. And then there's a third roo, and he's quite a bit smaller. He was being picked on, so we've let him completely free range. I started the last week or so letting them out during the day because it's just too small in there. Now we do have about 20 birds. This is our original roo. Well, not our original, but this is one we hatched out. He is sapphire gem and olive layer. And then we've got another roo right here. He gets picked on in the yard by the other one that looks just like him. We have this mama, and she has two little babies. Somehow each one hatched out a brown baby and a black baby. And then we've got this mama. She's mine, but she hatched out, I'm assuming that is an Americana blend. And then there's a barred blend back there. Pretty sure that one's going to be a roo. So, and he's gorgeous. We've got the sheep, 2 sheep still, hoping to expand soon, but we need to get fencing dealt with. So right now, you can kind of see this white fence right here. They've got that down into the woods so they get some shade, and they've got this land, and they're not keeping this grass mowed down. I'm happy to mow that down. Excuse me. Pretty sure that is one of the younger sapphires. We originally bought 2. One was killed fairly young, and then we were able to hatch out a couple of the second one's eggs, and then we bought a few more. How are you getting out? How'd you get out? Come here, baby. There you go. So you can see that's our barred rock. It probably is the mama to the barred in the barn. And he's doing fine out there. We are making sure to give him grower. This is a meat variety of bird that does lay pretty early. So they are full grown and fully developed at 18 weeks. The garden has been neglected. Last week we had several health issues come up this last week. There's a magnolia flower up there. The tree just makes me happy. The sunflowers are saying their last goodbye. I did buy some seed to try to do sunflower patch, and I just haven't gotten to getting them in the ground, so maybe after our next trip. These are, every fruiting plant in here is a volunteer. So we've got cherry tomato, a tomatillo, And there's ground cherries in here. Ground cherries are a husk fruit that kind of tropically. Looks like we got a bunch of tomatoes that need to be harvested. Seeing some damage, but bees are really in there, so maybe we'll get some that lay a egg in the cornworm. I got a hornworm, that, not even joking, it was longer than my finger the other day off of one of these plants, and you can see, like right here, that branch doesn't have any leaves on it. It's hard to, there's a branch right there that doesn't have any leaves on it. They eat everything, the leaves, the stems, the fruit, they eat it all. They can take out an entire plant if you don't stay on top of them, which again, that's all of these fruiting plants are volunteers, so everything is kind of bonus, although that is where I've gotten 90% of my fruit this year. Something is also eating, like we've got the lacing, that's probably from the June bugs, but something is fully just eating all the leaves. I think I have a bunny. Look, this corn just kind of stunted. It is sending off some tendrils and silks, so we're playing with that. Aromas just aren't doing anything. I have my first melon developing. I think the mini varieties took. I do have a couple more volunteer ground cherries too. I have mullein. This is my first year growing mullein, so that's exciting. The oregano's doing well. Getting the last of the morning flush of the morning glories. And there are some cucumbers down there. It looks like they're starting to fruit, so hopefully I'll be able to get those up on that trellis here soon. My thought was this side of the garden gets the least amount of sun, and if I shade out the cucumbers with the morning glories, the cucumbers might be able to last a bit longer. Volunteer cherry tomatoes, and the morning glories are kind of holding the tomatoes to the trellis, so that's been kind of a fun experiment. Bush beans and corn, and over here you can see just how much taller that corn is. So the corn over there is half to a third of the tallest corn here. And I really am enjoying this. Are you who's knocking over my corn? The zinnias in the corn. It's so gorgeous. This patch specifically where it was so many volunteer zinnias, this is where I planted the zinnias last year. And so I just let them grow with the corn, and they're just so pretty. There's always butterflies. Always butterflies right through here. The hummingbirds are loving these beans. So that's been fun. Obviously not maintaining this well, but the corn start to fall over, so you have to come through and figure that out. Probably not today. Today's my 9th wedding anniversary. And the plan is to go out to somewhere, do something. Hate that. I haven't got a single slicer out of my garden this year. None of my tomatoes did super well. And this is my slicer patch, and I've got a couple plants. And this keeps happening. Something's eating, whatever. The dill. And if you look, it's a black swallowtail caterpillar. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. And it just kept bolting, so I let the caterpillars have it. I'm a sucker for a swallowtail, so I tend to give them what they want. Now we're getting into the more wild things. Haven't been maintained as well. Another volunteer tomato in the middle of all this goodness. A chicken in the garden. That basil's gone to seed. The marigolds are back there. This looks like some Tulsi basil back behind the marigolds. I was able to get a few tomatoes off of this, and it's starting to dry out, so we'll see. But there's tons of basil and tomatoes just volunteered in here. Here you go, baby. And we're getting lots of hot peppers. I've got an entire tray of hot peppers we harvested. We're gonna try to pull up this marigold that's in the walkway. All this basil just went to seed this week because I just wasn't able to stay on top of it. That's all celery. Need to really water and roll well before we leave. Something is eating this tomatillo. I have a feeling that it is a hornworm. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's that bunny or something. But we've gotten several good-sized tomatillos off there. I didn't plant any tomatillos. All the tomatillos are volunteer. I do keep them. See how this one's up on the top, so that tells me it's probably a worm, which then the birds come and get the worms too, so I don't super fret about it. One, they're volunteers. I'm not worried about the fruit production. Two, if I don't see a worm, then a bird probably ate it because we have a ton of birds up here, just like songbirds. We still have a couple brassicas that are hanging on. Cabbage loopers and stuff are really getting at them, but then all these tomatillos are volunteers. I don't really do a whole lot with tomatillos, so the pollinators love them here. Marigolds that are going to seed. I really need to come out and probably deadhead all my flowers, but I'm really not a flower gardener. I grow them just to literally enjoy in the garden. I don't pick them. I don't do anything. I think poke is really pretty. My husband has it in his head that it's this super dangerous plant, so he always pulls it. But, there's still some pretty blooms in the sunflowers too. So I'm just letting them do their thing. I mean, they are so tall. My husband posted a picture today, and it was older when they were still in the height of their blooming. And I swear I measured that they were 15 feet tall, if not taller. So, and my chaos garden over here. We've got more cosmos coming in. I did see a green zinnia, so I'm super excited to see if it reseeds in here. Looks like the white zinnias were really prolific. We got a pink zinnia down here. I just chaos sowed all this. The marigolds were all reseeded from the marigolds I planted last year. We've got white zinnias there. That is a weed. I have to go in and cut it out every year. Cosmo. Some marigolds. Lots of marigolds. Oh, here's a pretty zinnia there. just at its peak. There's mimosa in there too. I didn't plant the mimosa, it just grows. This is amaranth that I had some seed over. Cosmo's gone. A white zinnia that's past its prime. So, and the chickens use this as dust bathing too. So we had amended the soil with horse manure last year and tried to grow pumpkins, and we lost the entire harvest. So I was just gonna let it be wild this year.